Chicken?
Chicken? They want me to fight the chicken?
Chicken? Chicken Jockey!
With the fairly recent news about a Minecraft movie squared, clever title, I thought I should make a video talking about a topic that really interests me, and that's the buzz around the original film, A Minecraft Movie, its significance and its memes surrounding such a cultural film, and I want to ask the big question, why? Let's set the stage with some context. This may take a while, but trust me, it's worth it. On May 17th, 2009, Minecraft took the world by storm. Over the course of about 10 years, it grew more and more popular around the globe, resonating with all ages, but most importantly, the younger audience of Gen Z, inspiring creativity and imagination, and developing countless friendships and childhoods. It is not crazy to say that Minecraft is definitively the greatest game of all time. Shirts, toys, stuffed animals, books, spin-off games, merchandising, the game was insanely popular. It's extremely important, especially to gaming history. It's had influence on countless people. It was big, like a polar bear, and it is definitely my favorite game of all time. Of course, the next thing a brand would think is to make a 2-hour-long narrative sequence that can sell tickets. A movie, of course. If it's popular enough, a movie will be sprouted. But like all video game movies, production was hell, as in getting to production, pre-production. Mojang was in talks with Warner Bros. To make the film all the way back in 2014. Making a film about the biggest game ever was obviously not an easy task, especially for a game that was hindering on being a sandbox game, which it basically is. A game with very little story to tell. Base Minecraft is straightforward. Explore, gain resources, kill a dragon. It's what the player projects onto that foundation to be the point of the game. The mobs and animals all have fairly blank expressions, sort of like the Kuslov effect. Just a blank expression of a pig can be interpreted however the player wants. It's up to the player's imagination. And there's no real characters. And all the merch is Steve, the default skin. But Steve isn't a character. He's a placeholder. He became the mascot of the game by process of elimination. There has been no official adaptation of Steve as a character. He's kind of just there. So how do you make a story of a sandbox game with little to no expression with no characters? A blank canvas for the player to imagine. This is a question I imagine the filmmakers asking themselves. But also, how do we make as much money as possible? So, like countless of other films of this generation, things were rocky. Years went by with small announcements here and there. Creative and corporate ideas clashed. Creatives came and left. Pandemics happened, strikes happened. All of this caused no clear idea or creative settlement, causing an absurd amount of delays. Lucky for them, since Minecraft was so big, its popularity wasn't going anywhere, at least not fully. Of course it goes up and down, but the player base is never small. Polar bear. After years of back and forths, the Minecraft movie that was talked about for so long started to settle on a direction the story should go. Involvement of actors started to reach the public. Some didn't last long, like the version with Steve Carell. Some stayed until the end, like Jason Momoa. Until finally, it was announced that Jack Black would play a part, presumed to be the lead, Steve.
I am placing blocks and shit 'cause I'm in fucking Minecraft.
Apparently this wasn't supposed to be the case. He was supposed to voice a pig as a supporting role, but my guess, casting the lead of one of his previous successful films, Nacho Libre, director Jared Hess probably liked Jack Black's energy that he's worked with before and decided to have it as the focus and center of the Minecraft movie. It's possible that this decision was influenced by Jack Black's success from the Super Mario Bros. Movie, where he stole the show as Bowser. So the film went through production through approximately January to April 2024, giving about a year for the post-team. Yes, exactly a year for a fully digitally animated world with countless animated characters, with basically 70% of the movie being CGI. Yeah, that sounds doable. We'll get to that in a second. And we'll get to this polar bear right now. On September 4th, 2024, the first trailer released for the movie adaptation of the biggest game ever made, and something felt off. Flat commercial lighting, a weird corporate tone, horrible obvious green screen, and rushed CGI everywhere. A Minecraft movie was definitely part of the soulless corporate slop coming from big budget companies that has served as a pandemic on the film industry for the past 10 years, give or take. But the thought on everyone's minds, from every casual moviegoer to every hardcore Minecraft player, is something doesn't feel right. Some of it is the strange tone. Jack Black's performance is a little too zany? Hold on, what's the opposite of authentic? Counterfeit. I don't know, it felt plastic. fake. And to top it all off, they made the film live action. Why? In my opinion, the film should have been animated, and followed along a similar vein as the Lego movie. But no, unfortunately, the classic Hollywood thinking movie equal live action equal should be realistic wins again. It's a shame the film industry will never take animation completely seriously, and always see live action as a quote-unquote upgrade. The film being live action adds nothing to the story or aesthetic of Minecraft. The film begs the question of, what if Minecraft was real, rather than stepping back to ask why? But the film might as well have been animated, since 90% of it is visual effects, with live action humans being tacked on with horrible composition green screen. So then why even go through the hassle of making it live action? And with VFX worker conditions and deadlines being horrible nowadays, the finished product does not look ideal. I will admit, sometimes it can look cool. However, most of it is very uncanny and off-putting for a lot of people. This overall brings down the vibe and aesthetic of the film. However, I do like the title, a Minecraft movie. It's cute, but I think the nail in the coffin for most people is that the tone just overall felt stupid. But there's a strange amount of soul and love deep beneath it, which makes it feel a bit off. There's a weird logic when it comes to comedy movies, and the Minecraft movie is definitely a comedy movie for the most part. And there's nothing wrong with that, it fits. But most comedy movies kind of have this feeling that they know what they're doing. The jokes feel intentional for the most part. But just from this trailer, the film just feels stupid. It doesn't take itself seriously, in a way that it doesn't really care. You have Steve announcing himself by yelling his own name, like they didn't know what to have him say. It's corny, like the Minecraft movie you would joke about this film being. It's everything you would hope the Minecraft movie wasn't. Hey, at least it wasn't a polar bear. So now, we're finally here. The 8-month time period between first trailer and release. It was safe to assume no one was really treating the film seriously, and that no one genuinely thought it was going to be good. This is very important to remember going forward. The general consensus is,
What?
when it came to the marketing of a Minecraft movie, it was interesting to say the least. It's safe to say the marketing team didn't exactly have a great grasp on the IP of Minecraft, or the game itself. They didn't know how to generate buzz with Minecraft, even though it should be easy since it's such a big game. But they tried making their own memes? That's a good way to sum up the marketing strategy. Forcing memes, trying to start a new trend. But that's not how that works. You can't just will it into existence. It needs to be organic. The internet and the masses do whatever they want, and if they see you try to manufacture a trend, they're gonna realize it. It's important to realize their emphasis and insistence on trying to make this artificial trend. But something that was frequent in the marketing and toy sales in the Minecraft movie leading up to the release was a trend of the chicken mob popping up randomly. It was strange. There were no signs of it having a prevalent role in the story, logo graphics, even a whole Lego set before we even knew it was a scene. This rare trivia mob popping up everywhere. It felt less like a meme forced down our throats and more like a general thing that happens in the film. In hindsight, it was strange that it was so frequent, even before what happens next. But another element to this, which definitely stood out in the trailers as the soul of the movie. A pattern people started to pick up on is Jack Black consistently announcing things from the game. It's like they didn't know how to emphasize that these things are in the game, so they had them be announced and introduced. They're almost used as buzzwords, as to say, hey, you know this thing, right? However, it struck a strange chord in people, and I think that's for a few reasons. Number one, Minecraft is based on real life and survival game. Like 60% of the things in the game can be found in real life. You don't need to put emphasis on things like cows or chests, which are common things in real life, or even zombies and skeletons, which aren't exactly monsters, but are common in other media, especially the fact, for example,
This is a crafting table.
a crafting table isn't exactly the most abstract concept to really take grasp of. Even a dumber audience can probably understand. Number two, a mass majority of the audience are going to be Minecraft fans. Even people who don't play it know a lot of its concepts. The reason why the game is so massive is because it's very easy to grasp onto. It's very strange that the film is introducing these simple concepts to an audience like we're toddlers, even for toddlers that may be watching. The intention I can't get a read on. Did they want kids to vocally say out loud in the theater, "Well, I know that from the game"? But the final reason is the way Jack Black delivers each line. He's so goddamn excited to be saying the word. He's so profound by the concept of what he's saying. He delivers it with such gusto, in such a way that sticks in your brain, and he says these things with such emphasis and confidence, like the words were bold in the script or something. He says it almost as if he's inviting you to say it along with him. Hey Robo, what do you think about Jack Black's line delivery on common Minecraft concepts? What do you think, Robo? What do you think?
I think Jack Black's delivery of chicken jockey was made for parents who don't play Minecraft, so they wouldn't know what a chicken jockey is. So instead of just like the chicken jockey falling from the ceiling and just silently acknowledging the absurdity of the situation, Jack Black then goes, chicken jockey, to point out the fact that something absurd is happening. Show not tell or something. Polar bear.
Thank you, Robo. Very cool.
I don't know, I'm guessing.
See, the thing about the internet is that if you say something in just the right tone, in just the right way, it can stick in people's brains and get stuck there like a catchy song. Then you start saying it out loud. Then you can't stop saying it out loud. It becomes a stim, especially when you see others start to say it in a similar vein as you. See, I've been secretly running a test on you. It might have worked, it might not, I don't know. But it's similar to how I have seen trends and memes have worked for the past few years. I repeated and emphasized the word or concept of polar bear. I slipped it in here and there. It was random and out of nowhere, but it had you thinking about it, I have to hope. You might have questioned it, but you probably thought I was just trying to start some catchphrase or something, some weird running gag in the background. But it wasn't until I had Robo say it. Until then, you realized this was outside of my bubble. This was bigger than you thought. The gag has spread outside of my video. The emphasis becomes real. The joke becomes more funny since it wasn't just me that said it. This is similar to how the jokes from the Minecraft movie moved throughout friend groups and social media. We saw it on various TikToks and Reels, questioning why things were said that way, until we hear our friends have had the same experience. We bond and laugh over the relatability, along with the catchiness of the catchphrase, but there was one catchphrase in particular that stood out from the rest. At the end of the final trailer in February of 2025, they play their funny scene to get the audience hype at the end. It's a very funny, yet dramatic scene. Jason Momoa is in a Pillinger boxing ring, and a crate is lowered over a chicken. It feels weirdly focused on and dramatized. A baby zombie drops down, and is at first portrayed as cute, an absurd combo of creatures with the chicken it rides. It is then a good old switcheroo, then being cutely aggressive by growling, a trope that is overused and overplayed in many kids' movies, specifically being shown in trailers like this. We then cut to Steve. He announces what it is, as he does with the rest of the cast members, explaining things like they're 3 years old. But he announces this with slight concern, trying to hype up its importance and danger. He's threatened by it. He says it so clearly, with such great expression, each vowel exaggerated. Chicken jockey. Chicken jockey. Like that. It's again with this strange focus on the trivia mob that is a chicken jockey. This easily was the most significant of the catchphrases, with everyone blabbering it to themselves and friends non-stop over the course of a few months. It became its own thing outside of the film itself, its own joke. It became a reason to see the movie. Now, this is where things actually get interesting. The reason I made this video, because I must preface, everyone imitating the Jack Black vocal tick is not doing it out of positivity. Let us finally delve into the psychology of this trend, because unlike a lot of other ones, this reaction seems to stand out. The vocal stim of saying chicken jockey and flint and steel aren't in on any joke the film is actually telling. This is actually a reaction of confusion. The bizarre sayings and how they're said leaves the audience in a confused and weirded out state. They're being said in a way to mock the film and its strange direction. No one was actually taking the film seriously. It was a trend coded in ironism. The intention of making Jack Black say these words in this way is unknown. What does it do for the story? How is it supposed to make you feel? How are you supposed to react? Instead of a lot of other memes that were simple phrases, but the separate context around the phrase of a specific topic made the joke. For example, I'll say mustard, or excuse me sir, and you'll think, but the Minecraft movie catchphrases were along the lines of the 6-7 joke. The inside joke is within the context of the words itself. Another interesting thing is why the film was so popular. The film was no longer popular because of its IP, and more how it was caricaturized by its adaptation. The memes surrounding the film were becoming the reason people saw it, rather than watching it for the IP. People were flocking to the theaters instead of seeing a film about a beloved game, but now to see what's up with all these vocal stims they can't stop saying. Instead of saying, let's see the Minecraft movie, it's now, wouldn't it be funny if we saw the Minecraft movie? It became a joke. Isn't that interesting? A film that should have been a clear slam dunk in ticket sales became infamous, booming in popularity instead for its absurd final result. So a question I might ask is, was it intentional? Probably not. It's impossible for anyone to predict things like this. So now let us discuss the actual release of the film, because the psychology of the reactions given here is very, very interesting. No one actually went in thinking the Minecraft movie was going to be anything spectacular, or even good at that matter. As I have stated for the past 6 pages, I've given the context needed to understand the mindset someone is going through when going into a quote-unquote film such as this. How could I possibly explain the obnoxious and obscene reactions people gave? And how could I possibly explain the jump from an inside joke to outrages like this? Now, let's get to ironism, and the jokes on quality in the film industry. When you see good thing, with good moment, we love, we cheer. But how are you supposed to react with bad movie? Do you sigh? Maybe you groan. But wouldn't it be funny if you cheered even louder than you would for a good movie? The ironism and juxtaposition of something so stupid with no nuance being followed by cheers like it's intellectual art is sort of what our generation's humor revolves around. Let's talk about Morbius for a second. It's been a while, hasn't it? Morbius was a Marvel film born into the dumpster fire called Sony's universe for weird anti-hero villain spin-offs no one asked for because they didn't know what to do with the IP. Everyone saw this and the lack of reason for its existence and made fun of it for it. But that's the thing. The audience realizes that the big studios want people to be hyped for these films, so they pretend to be as a joke.
So, our entire existence here is just LARPing.
For Morbius, since the film was a nothing burger, people created fictional moments for the film that never actually happened, creating corny, nonsensical moments to be hyped for. Morbius, what would he even say that the film might think would be cool? He would have like a catchphrase. It's Morbin time. All of this paired with Jack Black's strange emphatic line delivery gives the audience moments to pretend to be hyped for. Basically, Morbius walked so a Minecraft movie could run. All of these reactions aren't genuine. It's the audience basically asking, is this how you want us to react? A film is made for entertainment, no matter how bad it is. The audience films a bad film's reaction points with over-the-top ironic reactions despite the film not deserving it. This results in the echo chamber that you see in the theater. Here's a video essay dramatic montage.
And soda flying through the air. In at least one case, the police have gotten involved.
The MCU had us by the balls. But for good reason. The MCU actually had well-crafted hype moments that were built up over a decade, resulting in genuine crowd-pleasing moments and uproars. However, the world lacks that now, and we're searching to feel that way again, but no film franchise actually has the commitment or skill to do so. So we insert fake reactions into bad films that are trying so desperately to gain those reactions. When Steve says Flint and Steel, or The Nether, or of course Chicken Jockey on TikTok, like we have seen Thor's hammer being rarely lifted, and Steve Rogers being teased to be able to, seeing Steve Minecraft announce Chicken Jockey in the theater in the way that it's intended to be seen makes us react like Steve just lifted Thor's hammer. People overblowed their reactions, screaming their lungs out, throwing popcorn when Jack Black playing the default skin from the Block game saying the name of the niche trivia mob. They acted ironically, because how else are you supposed to react? How did the filmmakers want people to react when he said it like that? In the context of the scene? Threatened, I imagine? But it was all a joke. They weren't genuinely hyped or cared about the Chicken Jockey line. It was a trend. Before the movie came out, people planned to cheer and scream when the line was said, as if to say, wouldn't it be funny to cheer and scream when he said the big line? It was simply the delivery of that joke. Of course, like all trends like this, they somehow get out of hand because a few dumbasses don't know self-control. The first few times are funny, but then the behavior starts to get obnoxious and affects the people around. The theater is a place for wonder and experience. But this film made it a thing to go to for clicks and attention. This behavior is unacceptable, and I will not condone it. I can only imagine the experiences theaters and theater workers had to go through during this trend. Fights were broken out, unnecessary popcorn was spilled, fireworks were even brought in, screenings were interrupted. It felt more like people were trying to one-up each other. Who can do the craziest thing and be the most obnoxious for attention? It's the usual suspects, boys in middle school. I hope they grow up and learn theater etiquette. I saw it April 5th. The day before filming my sophomore film. Hey, what? Shameless plug, what? And I, of course, was very stressed. I also saw the FNAF 2 movie before my junior film. If I had a nickel for every time I saw a video game movie the night before a stressful day of shooting my important student film, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? Now I gotta watch Sonic 4 night before the film I'm doing for my senior year. Anyway, the theater was packed. People were talking and screaming the whole time, going in front of the projector, and even throwing food at other audience members. Not even during the hype moments. It was a friend group all the way in the back. Again, the usual suspects. Dumbass boys in middle school. but my friend complained, and we got free tickets that we used to see Thunderbolts, a way better movie. In conclusion, it was the worst theater experience of my life. As much as I want to say they were interrupting the movie, you're not really missing out on much. It's not absolute cinema. To the surprise of no one, a Minecraft movie was bad. It's a strange film. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, and it had its moments, with a strange charm, but it's kind of weird. I'll give it a 39. At least Jack Black got to say this banger.
Deep down, you know, to hope, to dream, to create is to suffer. You're right. It is harder to create than to destroy. That's why cowards tend to choose the deuce.
And Emma Myers is really pretty. Also, to the surprise of no one, a Minecraft movie made almost $1 billion. Obviously, this is mostly because of the IP, but this is very interesting. The film was not popular because of the original game, it was popular because of the trend and controversy around the marketing. It became less about seeing the movie and more about getting that video of everyone cheering at Chicken Jockey. I wouldn't be surprised if some kids were on their phones the whole time, just asking, "When's he gonna say Chicken Jockey?" and were there just to record that moment. Isn't that interesting? How the source of popularity shifted like that, and how onlookers might see this reaction to the film and think it's genuine. But in reality, it's all ironic. It's like an elaborate prank getting people not in the loop to see the film and be disappointed and confused on what all the hype was about. Eventually, so many layers of irony spin back into genuinity. Repetition spirals into insanity. Phrases such as chicken jockey actually become funny buzzwords kids would mouth mindlessly. I doubt a majority of these kids actually went to the theater knowing why they were actually going. Along with this, the chicken jockey line has now been associated so hard with such a reaction that the joke now becomes unironically funny. It was only a matter of time until it infiltrated the mainstream. It became a marketing strategy for lots of companies. They have to be in on what's trendy, right? It's a very common occurrence that when corporations start to acknowledge a trend, the trend starts to die. This is because of intention and lack of understanding. By acknowledging the trend, the intention is slightly malicious, which is profit. Along with this, corporations don't have a fundamental understanding of a trend. They are not normal everyday people. They are not our age. They're a bunch of 60-year-old white rich men that don't know much about social media. Their perception on trends are fundamentally different from how the younger generation went into creating them. That's why when you hear Jimmy Fallon say chicken jockey on live TV in a large studio and try to imitate the audience reactions, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. The reactions don't have ironism behind it. They don't understand why the trend started in the first place. They don't know why it's funny. They just know it's trendy. While the common middle school boy who threw popcorn when Steve said the big line couldn't explain the trend himself, his time with online culture has built an unconscious relation with how such a trend might be brought up. Even the film re-released with a quote-unquote meme-along, with sing-along subtitles and even more emphasis on the funny moments, which was definitely talked about less. When the corporation you're actively making fun of acknowledges the joke and tries to profit off of it, it defeats the purpose of the joke. The original trend was obviously not supposed to be how someone is supposed to react, especially with it being an excuse to be obnoxious. It's going against authority, which is what the fun is. And when the authority embraces that rebellion, the fun is snuffed out. A similar situation to, again, Morbius, where Jared Leto, rumor and cult leader by the way, teased the joke sequel for Morbius. Once the person being made fun of acknowledges it, it becomes less funny most of the time. Overall, this whole topic shows that people are taking large-scale films and corporations less serious. They're seeing through the slop, along with the strange and lazy filmmaking choices. The chicken jockey trend points out that audiences have realized how out of touch studios are. It's all one big joke, and we are certainly not laughing with Warner Bros. I have made some awesome films and you should really watch them. I have made some awesome films and you should really watch them. Oh! My God, if you wanna support me, because this is the future for me. This is the future for me. Yes, indeed. I have made some stuff, and I think they're pretty tough. Yeah. do 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 do.